Hello and welcome to the Hearts of Gold podcast. We are so excited to be here with you today for another golden hour with Erin and Jaymes. And this week we are talking about something a little more serious, a little heavier, I think. We're going to talk about grief and loss. So yeah, we're going to take it there. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this this week is just because we're coming up on a lot of feelings this holiday season, and a lot of feelings that can sometimes be expected. We're expected to be joyful and to be happy, and for their, it's lights and it's sounds and it's music, and although that is something that we can feel, I think a lot of us who have experienced loss to a very severe degree, that can be just really hard this time of year.
Absolutely. It can bring up a lot of feelings about people not being there, or a lot of memories about when they were there, or just even as the new year turns, of feeling like you're getting further away from the person that you miss. It can be really complicated, even though you're excited. And oftentimes those feelings clashing creates all kinds of discomfort.
Yeah. So the plan is not to have this be a sad episode.
I'm already sad.
But I was going to share a little bit of my story, and Jaymes, we're just going to have a bit of a conversation, and hopefully you can take a couple of these things, maybe some things we talk about, maybe hearing us talk will help you go through this holiday season, however you are able to move through it, with your grief, or maybe if you haven't experienced grief, then you can be more aware of those who around you who might be going through this. So,
just really a heart of gold.
I mean, she's tough, but she has a heart of gold.
I'm a problem solver and I have a heart of gold. Thank you, Jaymes.
See, ladies, a heart of gold.
But I know you have a heart of gold and have done many good deeds.
You've been most helpful.
Yeah, that's me. Heart of gold.
You have a heart of gold.
18 karat.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I thought I would share.
Yeah, tell us your story.
A little bit of my story.
Your story of grief.
Yeah, and it is my story, right? Because our grief is individualized to each person. But my family, I'm the oldest of 4 girls, and my sister Shanin, she died in 2017. She was 25 years old, and she died after complications after a fall. She was paralyzed for 18 months. And then she died. It was really, really awful. And so that was in 2017. And I have never experienced any sort of loss like that. Right. Yeah. To the point where I was like, I feel pain. Yeah. it was really, really hard. Pain. I mean, we've had 3 children. And I've never,
which is painful for me, let me tell you.
Yeah.
If you don't know about the pain of childbirth,
let him explain it for you. No, but I had never experienced a grief like that before, to where I was physically in pain, mentally in anguish, emotionally just not able to, didn't know what to do with it. And so, yeah, that was really, really hard time. I had the foresight, I think years before, maybe 2 years before, I had started going to therapy. We have started seeing a local therapist here in town in Oroville, and I had some things to work out. We had started a church. We had moved back from Seattle. We'd lived there for a couple years. So I had just had some stuff to sort out.
Yeah,
and
we have been humans living in in this world. Yeah.
Yes, just we wake up every day. And so, I needed to see a therapist. We live life every day. And so that was good, because I had been in that routine. And then when this happened with Shanin, I needed to keep going and process some stuff. So, not sure where I was going with that. But
You're just sharing the story.
that is kind of, some things that kind of stuck out to me during that time, because it was one of those things for me where I would go to sleep at night, and she was my sister. So I don't know what it's like to lose a child. I don't know what it's like to lose a spouse. I don't.
Even a parent.
Even a
We
parent.
both got our parents. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the closest thing, a sibling, right? And I remember waking up every morning after she passed, and my brain didn't know what to do. Like it was trying to figure out. It was such a weird thing.
Yeah.
It didn't know what was happening. It was trying to make sense of this new reality, because somebody that has been there your entire life was now not.
Yeah.
And that was really hard.
Yeah. You came from a close family, and it was a big loss. And
right. And what's interesting about that too is with her fall, and she was confined to a wheelchair for 18 months, there was that loss as well. So we have the loss after she fell. She was paralyzed. And so we're working with that type of loss of like, life looks completely different now, not knowing she would die.
yeah.
And then after she died, the navigating that loss. I've heard similar things with people who have a spouse or a partner, or just someone a loved one with dementia or Alzheimer's. Like there's this, I'm not comparing the two, but just the idea of the two losses, like you're dealing with a loss while the person is still living.
Yeah.
And that can always be really difficult, kind of tricky. So
helpful for me when I'm thinking about loss and sadness. The sadness comes from loss, right? And so grief, sadness, loss are all connected. And so, even though there wasn't a passing away, there was still loss in that first accident. Yeah.
Right. And this could be true too, like if there was a divorce, or if there was
loss, moving away,
a relationship, maybe.
Yeah. Relationship falls apart, or somebody just moves away, or you get a different job.
Mm-hmm. We all have different degrees of loss and grief in those moments. Right. And so
I guess my question for you, talking about loss in this situation, is like, and I don't know how to phrase this. I'm not great at phrasing this, but there's expected loss.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to say like expected. And my mind wants to use words like just and unjust, but that doesn't feel helpful. But like, what has been normalized for us is that people grow old and pass away.
Right.
And so, when somebody is 98 years old and they pass away, there's still grief, but it's like, it's not out of the blue. It's not a surprise. It doesn't feel unjust, though. I won't get into the theology, but but this is one of those moments, and I've talked to people who've lost kids, right? Like that feels like an unnatural order. And this is a 25-year-old woman. I want to say girl. She was a woman, but you know what I mean? Like, so how does that play into your grief and processing?
I have to give a nod right now to, I just recently listened to a podcast, Mel Robbins. If you watch or listen to Mel Robbins' podcast, she just did an episode last week.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. She has lots of sponsors though on her podcast. But she did an episode. She interviewed a psychologist, and it was about grief and loss. They received like something like 60,000 emails regarding. Yeah. They wanted them to discuss this topic, and so actually he talks about this, and I have thought the same thing and he's so graceful in it when he's discussing it on the podcast, because there's part of me that, when you hear somebody who loses, like we tend to, or at least for me, we tend to put it in a hierarchy of loss. Like, mine is more painful. Sure. Mine is more, like I lost a child. That's so much worse than losing a pet.
Sure.
Or that's so much worse than XYZ, or whatever you're going to compare it to. And he talks about that, of how people's loss is very individualized.
Sure.
And so it's all pain.
Yeah.
None of us leaves here alive. None of us gets out of here alive. We're all
or unscathed
or
without
unscathed.
pain, right?
I mean, there are a couple people that are trying not to die, but it's for the most part, 99.99999% of us are going to.
And the even an inverse proportion is that the more life you live, and the more you have, the more pain you'll experience, right? Because you know more people and you are more deeply connected to people and your community is bigger. And so life is risk and life is pain, and death is a part of that life. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think too, there's like a toddler. And again, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist, but a toddler who loses like a stuffy toy I've heard this before. It feels pain in the same part of their brain as an adult who loses a child or someone else who's it's still registering in the same part of our brains that is pain. And so
because it's loss.
So
and loss, sadness is connected to loss, right? And grief is just an intense, form of sadness. Yeah.
That's one of the things. And it took, the first year was kind of like this weird bubble of at least for me, everything, right after Shanin died, I'll just share my little testimonial type of story. Right after Shanin died, everything felt very pink. Everything felt soft. It was weird. It was like my eyes were glazed over. Like it was the worst thing ever. But then I remember after she passed, we had our moments with her. But then I remember getting up to go use the restroom, and just remember feeling like everything was celestial, a little bit like pink, silky, soft. Like I don't know. And I've shared that with people before, and it was almost like this, just like a comfort. Not everyone experiences that, but I did.
Yeah.
And it was weird, and it lasted some time. That first year was really, really, really hard.
Yeah.
Because my brain is still trying to figure things out. But I don't know if you can hear my phone. No, they can't. Sorry. But it was kind of, it was different. Now,
what's the story you create around that? Or what's the meaning?
With the pink?
What's the meaning you make of that?
Well, because I am a person of faith, I consider that such a great gift, such a great, a comfort of feeling like Jesus, like God, was very near in that moment. Yeah. So, great. That's the story that I choose to hold around that.
That's all I was asking.
Yeah.
And then you were leading into the year after.
Yeah. So that first year was really, really hard. But also almost kind of a little bit of a bubble. And, I remember moving into, cause she died the day before my birthday, October 20th, 2017. Thanks, Shanin, forever we will be connected. And that's really what it's come to be over the years, is we're even more connected now. But I remember moving into that first New Year's Eve was really hard.
Yeah.
Because she died in October, late October, and then moving into that next year just felt wrong, felt hard, felt like just even more. There's so many little things that happen after a person dies that you're like, oh, now I'm experiencing this thing, and they're not here. And it's just like what you said, there's more continued distance that keeps building. If they're staying here and we're moving.
Right.
Moving on is what I thought. And I'm like, I don't want to move on. I want to, but as we've learned, language is, we're moving forward.
Yeah. So hard. Every passage of time and marking of time, right? It just it has all kinds of loaded meaning to it. And
right.
you turn the calendar and you're leaving the year, even though we made all that up. We made all the year stuff up. We made all the calendar stuff up. It's all in the same day. Like it feels like you're leaving the year that you last saw that person, in the flesh. And
I'm a huge New Year's person. Like it's for me,
we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, that'll be next
sure.
episode.
Yeah, next week.
If you're looking for more upbeat, more looking towards the future. But I did just want to hang out around here for a little bit because there might be some of you watching that are or listening that maybe struggle with this around this time of year. Or someone who's experienced loss. Maybe someone just this year experienced a loss and you've kind of forgot about it, but they have not. I guarantee you.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
So...
Yeah, speaking of this time of year, like a lot of faith communities, a lot of churches, it's the longest night of the year is the solstice, right? Is it solstice?
Winter solstice?
Yeah, the winter solstice is the longest night of the year. And a lot of faith communities put on services called the longest night of the year to like honor and remember and give encouragement to, and also just acknowledge that there's big holes in our hearts. So the people that we miss and are missing, and that this time of year can be difficult seasonally. And so... yeah, this time of year does bring up a lot of conflicting situations and issues. And
I do remember that in that first year too because there were moments of joy and it felt foreign when when those moments would come up, and it almost would feel like I was betraying my sister by being joyful for something. Oh, I don't want to forget that I'm sad. Right. Like, I need to do her honor. Like, I don't know, this weird subconscious thing of I need to give her honor by being sad and remaining sad, even though I know she wouldn't want that for me. Yeah. But there's this weird kind of guilt type of thing that happens. The second year is probably the hardest.
Second year, they say, is the hardest.
Just because I think it finally set in, like that wasn't just a hard year. Yeah. They really are not coming back.
Yeah. And normal routines are creeping back in. Another passage of time, another set of holidays. The feelings and the, relationship is the fear of forgetting kind of explodes. And so, it's difficult.
Yeah. So I think with that, I wanted to just share a couple things, if that's okay, with
whatever you want.
Just some things that I've learned over the years. And then I'm also, again, kind of referencing Mel Robbins' podcast. It's a really great episode. Maybe I'll link it in the comments. Not maybe, I will link it in the comments or in the description. But yeah, one of the things as they were sharing on this podcast that stuck out to me, and it's things that I had experienced before, but then they brought them back up and I was like, this is good. I need to think about this some more. One is you can't fix people. Yeah. When somebody dies, you can't, or they're dying, they're on their deathbed and you're surrounded. Maybe if you have that privilege of being around them before they die, like you can't fix anything. Maybe you show up to somebody's house after maybe their loved one died in a car accident or something like that, and you show up to their house. You can't fix anything. You can't say anything.
I see what you're saying.
Either.
Yeah, I don't. Sorry. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, there's nothing when somebody's experiencing grief, there's nothing you're going to show up, do, or say that's going to make it all right.
Right, and people aren't broken.
Yeah,
they're not actually nothing needs to be fixed. I mean, obviously, yes, we didn't want it to happen. But they are not broken. I believe grief is a gift to us. Yeah. Is such a wonderful emotion. It's a very hard emotion, but it's such a gift because it does something. It allows us to do something emotionally. But yeah, we can't fix people. We can't can't make it better.
Can't fix it.
Probably the best thing that people did for our family during that time was just show up.
Just show up.
I remember right after she died, we all went back to my parents' house, and my mom and dad were sitting on the couch, and the family just showed up and they brought food. They brought Shakey's pizza and a bunch of other stuff. James, Shakey's is a novelty. It is a national phenomenon.
Listen, I've not met a pizza I've disliked.
But Shakey
On the scale. This is a grief episode, but
I know, but I mean,
I guess if you're feeling sad, you can eat bad pizza.
wow. What about the Mojo? I mean, okay, I will say something changed with the Mojo recipe in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
So that I like the old, like back in the early 2000s.
Okay.
The Mojos were better.
French fries are good. I don't know what
Deep fried potatoes are great. Seasoned.
It's a pizza place.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, but the Mojos. You know what I mean? Like, okay.
And the atmosphere
Oh,
and all
okay.
that. Anyway, so Shakey's, they brought us Shakey's. And they came in.
Lots
and
of other food, yeah.
Lots of other food. And they came in and they stayed.
They came in.
And they talked.
Sat on the ground.
They just sat. They talked.
Yeah.
You know, what are you going to say? You're not going to say, oh, how are you doing?
Right.
I'm doing horrible.
Just holding space.
I'm doing horrible. Like, do you want what?
Just holding space.
So I think that was the thing that reminded me is that you can't fix it. Just being present with people. And in fact, there's many cultures, maybe you can help me, but just, what is it? Is it Jewish culture? Sitting Shiva?
Yeah.
What does that actually mean?
All kinds of rules. I don't know it all very specifically either, but there's all kinds of rules and customs and norms about community just shows up and people sit and they're supposed to just kind of sit in silence unless spoken to, and they're supposed to sit lower than the person that's grieving.
This is the custom. Yeah.
But mostly just sitting present.
Sitting and being present.
This is many cultures though. It's just being present because there's nothing to say. There's nothing you can say. There's actually worse than nothing to say.
Oof.
There's a lot of
bad
bad things
We're getting
to say.
to that.
You want me to
We're
hold
getting
off?
to that. Yeah, hold off on that.
That's only a lot of my advice is like that.
Well, that is my next thing. But before we get into that, just sitting,
presence.
just being present.
Yeah.
And I
Food
think
helps.
what I've learned to now, having experienced this, is that when I show up to someone in their grief, I know usually I'm feeling uncomfortable. Or if I see someone I haven't seen them since, I know a horrible tragedy happened, and then I see them out in the wild, I see them at the store or whatever. Like, I have found myself in the past avoiding those people because of how I feel. I don't know what to say. I don't know. Do I acknowledge that something happened? Do I say, how are you doing? Even though I know they're doing horrible. Like what do I say? And so that has often kept me from talking to people in public that I know. But so now what I do is if I see someone, I'll go up and I'll be like, hey, it's good to see you. Or I don't, or
one of the things that I learned from you that I appreciate is like, because I never want to bother anyone, I never want to burden anyone, I don't want to make anyone feel any kind of negative emotion. It's my own trauma. But one of the things I've learned from you and your process and your understanding and your reading is like, you're not reminding them.
Oh yeah.
You're not when you ask
good.
about them, or when you ask about grief, or when you ask about the deceased. Like, you're not reminding the family or the people about. It wasn't like they forgot they were sad. Right. It wasn't like they forgot about their person that they loved.
You're not making them sad.
Yeah.
They're already sad.
Oftentimes, they're glad or welcoming the opportunity to like verbalize what's going on in their brain, because they're thinking about this all the time and they don't want to spill out all their sadness and grief all over everybody all the time. And so giving them an opportunity, but like I was always like, I don't want to remind them and make them sad, and it's like, that's not happening at all. They are constantly thinking about their loved one. They're trying not to be a bummer.
If you ask them something about their loved one, they may start crying, and so I mean, but they're always on the verge of, especially in the early grief. Like, I think they said in the podcast, and other people have said this, that early grief is the first 2 years. So if they, you may feel bad that they start crying, but they don't. They might be like, oh, sorry, I'm crying. But I think
crying's okay.
Crying's okay.
Learn to not be afraid of tears. And to not fix it, and to not have to, don't hand them a tissue. They're okay.
Right.
Because when handing them a tissue is a signal that like you're uncomfortable. Just learn to be okay.
Yeah.
With tears, it's okay. They leak out.
They do. And
Oh, not me. Like, I'm super strong and masculine, but I'm not just kidding.
Yeah, James doesn't cry. Maybe you should talk to somebody about that.
When you were talking about being present, like in vocational ministry, like being a pastor, that's one thing we talk about a lot. And it's a phrase that lots of people have heard, but we say it to each other because like, what do you say when somebody's in the hospital?
Right.
What do we say when somebody just experienced significant death and loss and grief or whatever, lost their home, they went bankrupt.
A fire,
like, what do you say? And
a flood, any of that.
Oftentimes we encourage each other as pastors of like, they won't remember what you said.
Yeah.
They remember how you made them feel. And almost all of that is presence.
Yeah. Well, I would say sometimes we'll remember what you say.
If it's, you can do a lot of damage.
You can do, I remember how I felt and what you said, and that's not helpful.
Yeah. But there's no, don't spend a lot of time trying to find the right words, like you were saying, to try to fix it.
Yes.
Because
there's
you can do a lot of
say.
damage, but there's no right phrase that's going to make it right.
Right.
It's not right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
bad.
not right.
It feels bad.
Yeah.
It should feel bad.
So I think a lot of that is just us and myself getting comfortable when I'm approaching a grieving person.
Yeah.
Is myself being okay, being uncomfortable, and walking into their grief because you really are. You're walking into that grief. So, but yeah, we can talk about some things that people have said.
That's really most of my advice, especially to pastors, but to Christians in general, but to just people, just as human beings,
just
right?
to people.
And I brought up faith because like never does the worst theology of all time come out except around grief.
Oh yeah.
People say things that you're like, what? That's not in the book.
I know. And if you're watching this and you have said these things, just
everybody has.
Now you know.
Yeah.
but also
yeah, we are kind of
I have gotten better. Like I used to when people and there's different phases of grief, and I don't know if it's all what is the word in order? What's the fancy word for
stages?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sequential. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if it's all step by step, but I definitely move in and out of these phases. And there's early on, I was just mad, and people would say things and I would want to just say, like, prove them wrong and be like, why are you saying this to me? And I would want to be mean back. But all they were doing is trying to appease their own being uncomfortable, their own discomfort.
They were just trying to say a thing that they thought might be helpful.
Right? So I've come to know as it's been many years. I'm like, I have more grace.
It almost all comes from a good heart,
right?
Of people they want to be helpful, and so
right. But some of the things people have said, I think some of the ones,
like I wouldn't say like good. I'm glad. Just kidding. Just kidding.
What's the famous one is just, God must have needed another angel.
Yeah, God must need another. That's kind of a famous one. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, are we going to be angels? There's some theology
first
there.
Of all,
am I going to be an angel after I die?
Almost no religious system has people becoming angels. Second of all,
but also I'm like,
almost no religious system has God needing anything? That's like the definition.
God created.
The definition of God is in all religions doesn't need anything.
And what kind of God snatches people up because he needs someone to go and like sing over here with a harp on this cloud? Like I don't know. Like,
and I hate to put this one out because I hear this one a lot.
Yeah.
So you can disagree with me if you'd like, but similarly, but more vaguely, like everything happens for a reason. And
that is a great book. Oh, it's Kate Bowler.
Kate Bowler.
I think this is a book. Gosh, I'll have to just double check, but it's Everything Happens for a Reason and Other Lies I've Loved.
Yeah.
I think that is the book. I will try to
Lies I've Loved. That's pretty good.
Remember that. But yes, everything happens for a reason. And
you're like, so if I hit you with my car right now, is that for a reason too, or what?
Because honestly, the reason, and they talk about that one in the podcast. It's like what he will say.
Yeah.
Is what reason is that?
Yeah. Got him.
what he'll say, well,
Boom.
What's your reason?
Yeah. And I mean, not to rabbit trail, but like that does happen a lot when anything bad happens, including grief, is people want to know why.
Right.
And part of they want to know why is because they want to be able to avoid it. They want to go, well, that wouldn't have happened to me because I wouldn't have made this, that, the other decision. And that's just not how life works.
Right.
You can make all the right decisions and bad stuff still happens. This is the entire This is the entire meaning of the book of Job or the book of Ecclesiastes.
Right.
You can make all the right decisions and still bad stuff happens.
Yeah. Because if you know,
also that's just life, right?
If you know what happens, you know what went wrong, then you can control it. Right. You know how to fix it. You know how to keep it from happening to you.
Right.
Right.
Because all worry and anxiety is trying to avoid pain.
Yeah.
And you can't. This is what we're talking about. You can't.
Yeah. I just did this. I just did this.
Yeah.
I watched a reel. Oh my gosh, I don't know the name of the nurse, but it's on. She's big on TikTok and Instagram and all of that. But she was sharing a story. I was watching some of her stuff, and she shared this horrible story about this kid who died. Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, like. And I watched the whole thing. I was like, well, how did he die? And he had nosebleed, and then he had a headache or like a low-grade fever, and then he was vomiting blood, but nothing on the x-rays, nothing showed any of that. And I'm like, well, what was it? Because he died. And ultimately came down to he had ingested one of those cell batteries.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And it was just out of view of the x-ray.
Not cool, but you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And so as soon as I did that, I was like, oh.
I would never do that.
Or I went, oh, there was a reason.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he ingested this. I'm horrible.
Life's controllable now. The universe is controllable.
Yeah, because, that was an accident. Okay, now I'll just make sure that I don't have these cell batteries laying around Christmas. I'll make sure that other people know about that. Right. We can control this. Yeah. So it's just weird. I just did that.
And I think it's connected to everything happens for a reason. Right. And if we do believe that, if that is a belief that you have, then you... are trying to make sense of stuff that's not make sensible.
Right. Right.
What are some other phrases that you hear? I hear this one a lot. If someone starts a sentence with, at least, or it could have been worse.
Right.
I hear that one a lot.
Or just what happened.
And I think that goes back to your earlier point about everyone's grief is their grief.
Right. It could have been worse. It could have been
at least
XYZ.
They didn't.
Right.
Get bitten in half by a shark,
I'm like,
whatever.
Okay,
you're like,
say that stuff behind my back. That's fine. Talk about all those things behind, but don't say it to my face. I did have one lady one time, come up to me and say, "Oh my gosh, I was so sad to hear about Shanin. I'm so glad that didn't happen to me." And I'm like,
"Oh, okay.
What do I say to that? I'm glad too."
Not
Actually,
me.
I kind of would rather have my sister right now.
Oh, that's
maybe
hard.
It'd be I don't know. It was just some of the stuff people say. They don't realize how it hits you.
What are some other ones? I got at least. How about this one?
Yeah.
They wouldn't want you to be sad. I know you just kind of mentioned that, but
yeah, yes, and he goes into this in the podcast too. Yeah. I think that's ultimately where as my healing has come. Yeah. Because I do think about that.
Yeah, it's not an unhelpful thought.
I think I had to come to that on my own terms.
Right.
And having people kind of say that to me is not helpful.
Yeah, of course. It's not an unhelpful thought, but also it's your grief. Also, it's if they would have wanted that for me, they should have died.
Right.
Grandma.
It also so people die in so many different ways.
Yeah.
There's so if someone has cancer, that's a different death journey than someone who fell, and was paralyzed, or that's different than somebody who was hit by a car and didn't get to say goodbye to their family. There's so many, someone with a heart attack, somebody who has a stroke. I don't know. There's so many different ways to die. What is that? Ways to die.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You do. Stop it.
Yeah. So those are some of the phrases I think about when I think about people processing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and that's ultimately what it came down to for me after moving through that grief, is that Well, I heard a couple things, that the more deep your grief is, which I don't like, I guess that's all subjective, right? But the deeper, what did I write down here? No, I put the deeper the grief, then the greater your capacity for joy. So I heard this, and they talked about this in the podcast too, of like, the more pain you have and you can sit and you can process it, so many of us are afraid to be that much in pain.
Yeah.
Because we're afraid, like, oh my gosh, if I go down that road, if I process this thing, I'm not going to stop crying.
Yeah.
I might not. I don't know where that leads.
Right.
But also it's when you have experienced the depths of that pain, it also expands your capacity
I imagine that's
for joy.
True. Yeah.
And they did say that. That is from a psychologist. I have
believe
heard that
it.
from multiple therapists as
You're
well.
not convincing me. Yeah, it's just a new thought for me, but it makes total sense. In that, like, I think we have so many societal structures, right? Like, I'm a systems guy, I'm a structures guy. We have so many societal structures that prevent or discourage people from processing their pain and their grief. And what is modeled for us is like people just getting right back to it or doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to cast any kind of judgment, but there's a way in which unprocessed all emotions, but including grief and pain, like
Right.
It comes out.
It shows up
and it's
in other ways.
And it can come out through processing, or it can come out through leaking out and just pouring out or spilling out, or
it comes out sideways on somebody else. You're like, no, I wasn't. I'm not sad about that thing. Oh, but I just like yelled at my kids for 20 minutes.
So I imagine done
that before.
Taking the time to process and not letting it affect you, but intentionally and purposefully kind of walking through it.
Yeah.
Does increase the capacity for joy.
Yeah.
Because you don't have just this latent, unprocessed grief just spilling out all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I imagine that's true.
I just thought of another thing that people say.
Okay. Hit me.
What do you need?
Oh,
How can I help?
Erin's not pumped about this.
What do you need? How can I help?
Yeah. She heard me say it 1,000 times, and she's like, "You gotta stop."
I think there are times when that question is fine, but I think as it relates to grief, maybe you can ask that question to a tangential person that's not the direct person. Like maybe, like if I died, someone could ask your friend what you need.
Right. If you're not super
probably
close.
not your kids.
Yeah.
Probably, I mean, you know, I don't know, someone tangential or that is far enough removed that they can.
What do they need is a better question than what do you need?
Yeah.
Because
we don't know what we need. We need our person back.
It puts a lot of onus and ownership on you to give them something to do.
Yeah. I'm
as
like,
you're
I don't
drowning,
know.
as you're emotionally drowning.
It's I think of it like a tennis, like you're hitting tennis balls and you just knocked a ball into my court and you're waiting for me to bounce it back. I've got so many I'm trying to juggle right over here. I can't, can you just so here's the thing. We all need to eat. Mm-hmm. We all need clothes washed, laundry done, need our house cleaned and our dishes done. Like basic things. What was so helpful to us in that time was people just showed up with food. They left it on the porch and they drove away. They didn't stay. Some people did, and that was fine, depending on how we were feeling.
Read the situation.
Read the situation. I don't know. So sometimes people would come in, like you can text, say, hey, I'm bringing dinner at this time.
Yeah.
It's going to be this and this.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if there's dietary, that's the thing. If there's dietary restrictions and whatever, hopefully you know them well enough.
Right, but it also doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because
it's just the act of physical care.
Yep. Grocery cards or Uber Eats or whatever, drive-through, like
lawns.
fast food cards.
Who knows?
Just that stuff. And they may not thank you. They may not acknowledge it. That's okay. A gift, giving a gift, a true gift does not require anything in return. And so that was...
There's a lot of times I show up with food. I think I'm going to leave it on the porch. I get invited in because they just want to process and talk. Sometimes I think I'm just going to be invited in and want to process and talk, and I just leave some food on the porch. Again, it's not what you say. It's how you make people feel.
Right.
And sometimes whatever.
Yeah. And I mean, again, like with laundry and stuff like that, some people are really like, maybe, you have to be, but if you're like, hey, I'm coming, I'm going to grab three loads and I'm going to wash them at my house. I'm going to fold them. I'm going to bring them back for you.
Right.
Like describe what you are going to do. And they're like, okay. And then they can say, no, not today.
Yeah.
But don't make them say, hey, would you like me to wash your whites? Would you like me? What would you like for dinner?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. That's a hard question, even
regular
on a
life.
day than regular life. I don't know.
Who knew most of our adult life would be like, what are we having for dinner?
I don't know. Food?
Do we have to eat today?
I don't know. Why do we have to eat anyway? But
those are some some things. Yeah.
So, and that's one that you don't think, because it really you think you're being helpful. But even in like, and I'll take this to like the business area for a minute. Like when I'm trying to schedule with a client, if I say, hey, what time works for you? Yeah. I've just made them do all of this mental labor. Yeah. Whereas if I say, hey, I have this day at this time, or this day at this time, or this day at this time, then they can look and they can go.
Yeah. Give them options.
Yeah.
Give them
options.
That
doesn't work. That doesn't work. Give me some more options. You're doing this. What were you going to say?
I just was thinking about another thing, but we're not on business talk. But
no,
have you heard the shoe salesman tactic where it's 2, never 3?
Oh,
always 2, never 3. And so shoe salesman, somebody will be like, I want to try these on, and you have 2, and they're like, I don't know. Do you have another one in the back? And they go, but a good shoe salesman is supposed to be like, yes, I'll go get the other one. But of these 2, if you had to, which one would you want to pick?
Yeah.
And that way, when you bring the third one out, now it's 2 again.
Yes, because we love choices.
But simplified choices.
Yes, definitely. Well, and
but
really,
3 is...
It's too much.
Overwhelming.
It is.
No.
And again, this is more business talk, but when I am with my clients, when we come in and we choose their images, I do that same thing.
Yeah, if you bring me something I don't like, I'm just going to throw it away. That's fine.
But I'll hold up.
But also, do I look like a guy that doesn't like very many things?
Yes, we will, or we'll freeze it, or we'll whatever. And sometimes just giving just the act of dropping something off.
Yeah.
Is enough. Like even, we maybe the kids won't eat this certain thing. That's okay.
It's okay.
You don't need to know what I did with it.
2 more I thought of things not to say, and I don't think is that helpful. It was like, well, they're in a better place.
Yeah.
That's
Are
hard.
they? Because I mean, and this is what they said too. Sorry, let me think about it. Now, you want your pastor, you want your reverend, you want your priest. In context, right? Like if you're talking to someone, you're going to a person of the cloth.
Yeah.
You kind of want them to say that they're in a better place, right? Yeah. Like you'd want them to say, okay, yes.
I think it just goes back to that one that's like at least, right? Like at least they're in a better place, or at least they didn't suffer, or at least.
Yeah, but talking to Joe Schmo or even like a friend that says they're in a better place.
Yeah.
The better place is with us right now. It feels.
Yeah.
The better place is here.
Yeah.
So anyway, are they?
I thought you were casting judgment.
No.
You're like that guy?
No.
That's funny.
But there's just a lot of things.
Yeah.
Okay, I covered those. So one of the ways. I mean,
can I just flesh that out? 100% do not be like whatever religion you're a part of, like not helpful to be throwing out like religious litmus tests for the deceased right away.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Like,
that's another thing.
Like, did they believe or did they do their pilgrimage or did whatever?
Did they accept Jesus into their heart?
Right. Or did they take their pilgrimage to Mecca or whatever? You know what I mean? Like,
were they a Christian?
Yeah. It's like,
were they a believer? Why do you need to know that? It doesn't matter. It don't matter now.
We're not litigating the eternal souls of my immediately departed.
Decide where they go?
Yeah, that's just not a helpful. I've just seen a lot of relationships get ruined over stuff like that. It's certainly not helpful if you're a part of a faith to be litigating people's eternal souls and eternities.
Right.
On the spot. Yeah, let people process.
And let them. There was another, and it's just such a good episode. Again, I will link it because there's so many things that I hadn't thought about before either. But there are, it's a timeline. Like some people, if their loved one dies, maybe they were the caretaker. Maybe they are like hyper vigilant and they're like, get stuff done. That was kind of me for a little bit. A lot of us sisters, we got stuff done. We organized the memorial service, all of those things, the slideshow, all of that stuff, got that together. And it might be much later before that hypervigilant person allows themselves to process anything. So it might be a year, it might be 5, it might be 10.
Right. There's a ton of stuff to do.
So even if they're not showing signs of like grief, like sadness or crying, which is typical signs, it doesn't mean that they're not. People grieve in very different ways. There's like hysterical laughter that would just show up out of nowhere. I'm like, what is happening right now?
Hard.
Yeah. I know it's raining. I can't really, I don't know if you can hear that.
Which, I mean, I don't know if you were getting into it, but that does connect to like some of my best advice for how to deal with grief. I don't know if now's the time.
Yeah, I want to hear your advice.
I don't have to give any, but I'm just...
Well, I was going to wrap up. I do want to hear your advice. Can we come back to that at the end?
No.
Please, please. I want to hear it because I have a question for you.
Okay.
But I did want to say just with the grief for me, how that worked out is in 2019, I've always been a photographer. I've always been taking pictures. It's always been fun for me. And I was an x-ray tech for years, 15 years. And I worked in the healthcare setting. And one of the things I think as I was processing grief, and many other people, I was sharing about it a lot online, and people were resonating, and we'd have really great conversations. I came to find, I just leaned into, well, how was I now going to move through the world?
Right.
Knowing that Shanin was not here with my physically. And we've had, now since then we've lost many other family members. My grandma, my grandpa, my other grandpa, like it's just, but that was the one, like that was the sharpest grief that it just hit me. Like I've never experienced anything like that before. But I had to decide like, how am I now going to move through this? And so I think even going back to everything happens for a reason. No, but I would say I think we can choose how to use our grief and use it for good or for, to give them a little, almost like a memoriam, I'm now honoring my sister, I believe, with choosing to live in a way that I want to live, which at the time I was working in x-ray. I was doing photography part-time. And Jaymes, I was like in just the throes of it. This was 2019. So this is before 2020 even. This was 2019. So it's like that second year. And I was just really, really not doing well. And we were walking through downtown Oroville and came across this little building in a mini mall. And you were like, this would be a great photography studio. And I was like, what? And so, the rest is history since there.
You're welcome.
That's been now 6, almost 7 years of doing of this. And so I feel like I've been able to now channel my grief through creativity, through serving my clients and being able to provide them with these images that they will have for generations, that they can celebrate their loved ones. And that, photography for me is something that is timeless. It is how it's all we have left of them. I'm not wearing her necklace now, but we have some clothes, we have some things, but really if I want to see Shanin, I'm looking at media. I'm looking at a portrait. I'm looking at a video.
Right. Photos, videos.
And so that's how I'm choosing to honor her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And also part of your like altruistic, right? You're like, your pooch playoffs, right? The
Oh,
SPCA
yes.
is close to Shannon, and so
Yeah,
you do
that's right.
Your work of raising funds for the local animal shelter,
because that's what she adopted her cat Boomer from the SPCA. Yeah, thanks for bringing that
she
up.
has her plaque up at the
Her
SPCA.
plaque, yes, so you can go in and see Shanin Duvall in the cat room.
So multiple times a year, your family, but also through your work here, just trying to help that place keep going and help, vulnerable animals find homes. And
and then I also I was going to share that because it kind of, well, it definitely ties into grief, but I don't know if any of you have heard of, I know you have, but Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep.
Yeah. So that's another part of your job. Yeah.
It's an organization that it's a nonprofit organization who photographs. They work with affiliate photographers in the region to photograph babies who have been born sleeping, or who have died shortly after. And so, I'm fortunate enough.
If you don't know, Erin's kind of the regional rep for.
We need more. If you're a photographer watching this, or if you
and she gets a few phone calls a month of families that are experiencing some of the worst imaginable pain, and
it's really horrible.
Erin goes and helps the family process their grief through photos of their little one.
And really, I think what's lovely about that, because I have a lot of photographers locally that I've asked before. There goes the train. But I have said, hey, would you want to do this? Because it's
really
it's
hard.
free, it's volunteer.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It takes, you have to be, I think, connected with yourself and your emotions. And so many people have been like, oh, I could never do that.
Yeah.
And I get it. But it's also like, I'm the only one for our region. And so I'm like, oh gosh, we need to.
But that is a place I feel like where your gifts where your medical past and your your current career, creative career overlap in a way. Because it would be really hard for me to do something like that too. So what a boss.
Yeah,
and
I get it. But no, well, thanks. Well, it's not something I don't enjoy getting those calls.
Of course.
But it is that entry point of healing.
It's real. It's a real life. And
for people, they a lot of times they have just you're walking into a room where you don't know what to expect.
Right.
And so I always try to ask the nurses, I ask whoever is taking care of them, how did this happen? Because again, was this unexpected? So if it doesn't make it easier, but the vibe is a little bit different, if they got to spend some time with the baby before it died, if they were expecting a live birth and it came out stillbirth, that's tragic. I'm going to approach that differently. So it's just good to have, the backstory, but it is there, I'll usually talk to the baby. Everyone's different, and you go through a whole training online, but I'll usually, I think too, it shows the parents that I'm honoring I'm going to get choked up, but this wasn't supposed to be a sad episode about grief and loss.
I'm sad.
But it's, I like to show that I'm honoring their baby by using the name. That sometimes they don't have a name yet.
Sure.
And talking to the baby and saying, oh, okay, I'm going to move your hand here. And I think them seeing me do that and bear witness to this little life is helpful for them.
Right. Thanks for doing that. Great job.
Yeah. No, so I don't know if you weren't aware, that happens. There's stuff happening like that all the time. You never know what's going on in your community. And so it's another reason to just be kind. But where was I? I wanted to ask you.
Oh, ask me. What would you like to ask me?
So as a pastor, we're going to get into advice. And I know, because we're getting to our hour of the golden hour. As a pastor, what would you, there's a lot of things that happen. There's a lot of logistics when somebody dies, when someone passes.
Yeah.
And then what are some logistics? What are some things that you want people to know? Sorry, not the logistics, but advice.
Yeah.
When people come to you, a lot of people say, hey, do you have a space? Or, hey, what do I do? Can you do the service?
Love it.
Yeah.
So advice for people that are hoping to have a memorial or grief or
Yeah. We'll start there and then I'll share a little bit
I
more.
have 1,000 things to say. I just don't know what it is you're looking for, but
We'll just talk and I'll direct you.
like I would say that event, that time, that space is holy and sacred and important. But it is primarily for the living, the people that are there. And so I think a lot of times people get wrapped up and or blocked up or whatever, jammed up in trying to figure out what that person would want. And it's good. You want to honor them, but
Right.
it's for the family there. The memorial service and the funeral is a facilitation of grief for that family. And so that's helpful. I would frame it in that way.
That's good.
Do things that are helpful in that way.
We watched Thor Ragnarok for Shannon's memorial service.
We did watch that.
It was definitely for us. That was fun.
All our friends
we
and
ate
family
candy at the movie
movie theater.
Shout out to Feather River Cinemas once again. Yeah. Anyway.
And maybe there's a way to incorporate both, but you know what I mean? Like
it was honoring and it was fun for us too. I mean, as fun as it can be at a memorial.
And so I really approach those things as a way to try to help facilitate grief for the family and in some ways bring the immediate chapter closed, right? Of like the initial shock and grief and which is sometimes why funerals, like a cemetery burial gravesite is helpful because there's like
there's closure.
Seeing this person that you love go to the ground, and so sometimes that can be helpful. But I think in general that's the function of these is to try to we marked the event just like we were talking about calendar wise, like and so which can be helpful. It's sad, but also it's I think that. Because you know how grief sneaks up.
Yes,
I think it takes a little bit out of the sting of the sneak, you know, because you did the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, what else would you like me to say?
I know. Well, I'm thinking too with the holidays,
for pastors and something you can expect from me, but the advice I give, I'm not doing. If anyone's preaching hellfire and brimstone, like. I just
at the service.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. You guys are. That is absolutely incorrect way to approach these.
Trying to do an altar call at somebody's.
Who's doing all? That's not the function of this at all, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I do appreciate.
They don't
that.
do those at weddings. It's a very similar thing, right? It's a passage of time and the marking of special occasions, and no one's like doing altar calls at weddings. It would be totally inappropriate. And so I'm always surprised when I talk to people and they're like, I just went to a funeral and this guy was hellfire, brimstone, and altar call, and it was like, what's happening here?
I do appreciate that about you a lot.
My specific role for my specific religion, my job is I do proclaim the resurrection. Like that's one of our goals is, and I'm trying to help the family facilitate their grief process. And so so we always kind of end with this prayer in kind of traditional, where you do pray for the person who passed, but then it turns to a prayer for the family and those who are left here to process and grieve. And so, but I'm not hellfire. And I think that's a bad move. So take it or leave it. Does that feel judgmental? That's fine. I'll be judgmental. And you can judge me if you think I'm doing it wrong, but like never.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
not ever, not never.
I mean, you're a pastor, like to see all these people coming to the church.
I don't know.
You got all these people coming through the doors and you're like, I'll bet most of them don't know Jesus. I can see the temptation.
I think it's even
to be like, let's invite a bunch of people to accept Jesus into their life at their mother's funeral.
I'm trying not to talk about faith that much here, but you're talking about but I think even more so for me, like I think the belief value norm, the belief is that this is my only opportunity.
Yeah. Yes, that's great.
They're here, and I'm going to give it to them, and that's not. That's not how I understand faith. That's not how I understand scripture. That's not how I understand spiritual journeys.
It's like reverse sales. It's weird. It going back to like that sale, like business and whatever, it feels too salesy. Like instead of honoring the person, it turns into almost like a sales pitch.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think that's the one opportunity situation.
Right.
Like this isn't
like there's scarcity built in of I got to get these people.
These people don't live in a remote rainforest tribe that have never heard the name of Jesus before. Like it's Christmas time. It's everywhere.
Right.
Like this isn't your one opportunity that they're going to get to hear about whatever it is you're preaching about.
They've heard it before. Yeah.
This isn't like, okay, I better get after this. It's like, and I just don't also believe that that's how gospel or salvation or spiritual journeys work. But so I'm just confused. I'm confused by that. Yeah. I don't think that's the form and function. I don't think it's the right place.
Different vibes, different people respond to different things
I understand
in a
that
different
you have
way.
to say that to be kind, but I don't have that. So if you're asking me to participate in that in a memorial service or a funeral, you're not going to get that from me. I'm not. Yeah. I'm going to do my best to honor your loved one and help the family process. So,
yeah, I love that.
What? Also, I think I have strong. Anyway,
what? You can go. It's all right.
No, it's okay. Go for it.
Oh, okay. He's censoring himself.
Yeah, because I have a lot of thoughts and feelings about this, but this isn't the purpose and place.
Well, okay. Well, as it relates to the holidays, because coming back to like it's complicated. We're having a lot of feelings. Yeah. There's celebrations. There's gatherings. Yeah. There's you're now meeting. Maybe gathering with family and your person's not there or people aren't there. It looks very different. What would be your best advice as a pastor, put on your pastor hat or your sociology hat too. Your professor hat too. It's society.
My parent hat.
He just moved his hat in 3 different directions if you're listening. What would your advice be as we move through the next, we've got Christmas Eve, Christmas, New Year's, the new year.
Yeah.
Great.
I got like 3 or 4 pieces of advice, but you want to know, I'm trying to answer that question specifically. So I think the thing you were saying earlier about, the more deeply you process the grief, the more space and room you make for joy. And I think that's one of the things I would say, find the natural rhythms where you can remember out loud, and you can say your deceased family member or friend's name that
that's
you can,
good.
Like on their birthdays or on holidays, or there's certain rhythm, like Halloween was originally developed for that. I know I get kind of on my Halloween soapbox, but that was a time to remember the
All
dead.
Hallows Eve, Halloween.
If you can have times and places where you are saying their name and eating their favorite foods and just, it's intentional and it's not, it's weird. It's always weird, but it's not too weird. Like that allows for that joy to come later. Does that make sense? And so, but I think in our society, we've kind of tried to ask people to be quiet. And so it leaks out, right? That's what we talked about earlier. And so it's going to leak out. And so the more you can be intentional and purposeful and loud and about them, then... But also, there's also room to do that at Halloween. At all holidays, right? Of just like at Christmas, just be like, if you're saying a speech or if you're thanking people for being there, just like, and I'd be remiss not to, to not
mention so and so
and how much we miss them, and I really appreciate y'all being here. Like,
I think that
intentionality and purpose, I think, is going to go a long way, because otherwise things just leak out and then you're just crying at Christmas or whatever, you know what I mean? Right. Or yelling.
Well, and I've said this too. We have close friends who have experienced great loss as well. And so, we all have our own things. And so we've said this before of like, if you're in a gathering and you disappear, like, that's okay. If you disappear and you have to go in a room for a minute or you have to go outside, you have to tell people where you are.
Right.
Actually, because one of the other resources I was going to share is Grief Share is a wonderful program that actually my mom and dad have gone through it like 4 times, I think, and now they lead it.
We have
programs, and there's several different ones around the county in Butte County. But one of the things they have a series or a special episode dedicated special lesson for surviving the holidays. And one of the things they say in that is plan ahead, like have a family meeting. Say, hey, what are your expectations with this?
Right.
Or is it okay if I,
Right.
like, if it gets to be too much and everyone's over here and talking and playing this game, I might disappear. If I disappear, it's nothing personal. I just needed some time.
Yeah.
So if you kind of
I
have a
would
game
say,
plan.
yeah, probably ignoring it is worst case scenario, right? Like,
Yeah.
I know sometimes you got to put things on shelves to kind of get through certain situations, and you got to read the room about who you're with,
Yeah.
your proximity to them, your closeness to them. But
And if you're in that if you're experiencing some anger, grief, like
having
you
some
may wanna say-
intentionality and purpose, I think
Yeah.
is more than helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great.
My other bits of advice.
it.
You ready?
Yeah.
You kind of stole some already. That's
Oh,
okay.
sorry.
I think
I kind of do that sometimes.
we're talking about like if you're feeling things and it's okay to disappear and leave. Like I tell the story a lot, but Erin and I, in my final week of my degree, my theology degree, our campus experienced a school shooting, and 2 people had passed, and there was a lot of chaos and a lot of confusion and sadness and grief. And I worked at the mental health counseling center, but I was the secretary. But the counselors were all convening on campus, and they were going to do some triage, right? Some emergency counseling for folks that needed it. And I was on the text thread, and so I was going to show up and maybe think I was going to help organize lines if students showed up and they needed help. And they said, James, you're graduating. You're a full-fledged pastor now. You're going to be doing counseling, spiritual counseling for people. And so we want you in our ranks of helping these students. And the clinical PhD, like the head guy of the whole thing, I'll never forget, looked at me and he says, there's only one thing that I want you to know. And I just think about this a lot because it was just such a like big story in my life. And whenever you're in the middle of like a hurricane and someone's like, there's one thing I want you to know. And this guy is the guy who knows his stuff.
Yeah. We would not have a hurricane here, but
you know what I'm saying?
yeah, I know what you mean.
He says, there are no abnormal emotions during abnormal situations. And so you mentioned that earlier about like potentially like hysterical laughing or anger or frustration. And so, or when you're showing up to people in their grief, because we talked about being present, like they might be angry, they might be frustrated. You might catch some sideways stuff. And that is one of the helpful beliefs that I have going in is that there are no abnormal emotions during an abnormal situation. So that's helpful because you know if you're expecting someone to cry and they're not crying or whatever. Right. Which leads to my second bit of advice that I always bring up about all kinds of things, but I think about it with grief too, is that it's often our feelings about our feelings that messes us up the most.
Explain.
Our feelings about our feelings. In this context of grief, like when you feel like you're forgetting and you don't want to forget. Yeah. And now you're mad at yourself for forgetting. So there's this feeling about the feeling that's really frustrating. Right. Or sometimes there is silver lining in someone passing. They really have ended their suffering. And so there's the bittersweetness. And sometimes you are mad at yourself for feeling relief, maybe. Right. That their suffering has ended. Yeah. And so it's oftentimes it's our feelings about our feel. Like I should feel sad and I don't. Right. And that messes us up. Or I shouldn't be happy. Right. So if you're saying should about your feelings, then oftentimes it's your feelings about your feelings that are messing you up.
If you're shoulding on yourself,
is YouTube going to censor this? But when you use the word should about your feelings, that is might be a sign that you're letting your feelings about your feelings.
Yeah, that's good.
Derail you or direct you. Feelings are another bit of advice. These are the last two. Yeah. Great metrics. I love it. Great metrics. But sometimes they lie. Sometimes they're unhelpful. But the least helpful thing to do is ignore them. And so acknowledging them, recognizing them is always helpful. And then again, if you can do the extra level of like, how do I feel about my feelings? Right. And that is some next level work. And then you mentioned it earlier, and this is the one thing I always tell everyone as I'm helping them navigate grief is the number one question that pops up in our head, and I don't know why, is why. But it's the first thing.
Yeah.
Why did this happen?
Why did this happen?
And sometimes it's a spiritual question, and sometimes it's a technical question. Sometimes it's a biological question. Sometimes there's just
Why
confusion
me?
around
Why
the
her?
details,
What-
right?
yeah.
How, why did this happen? What was going on in this situation? Like, why?
What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
Sometime, what did I, why is God punishing me?
Right.
Feels like
Why?
a punishment.
Feels like right.
Yeah.
And it's oftentimes the least helpful question. And the most helpful question is going to be how. Right? How do I move forward in light of this situation?
Yes.
Which is something that you touched on earlier. But I always say it's like, how do I move forward with the reality of this tragedy or this sadness?
That's so good. That's reminding me of another story that actually I feel like was a gift.
Yeah.
And I know we're going a little bit over our hour, but that's okay. It's our hour. But I remember, so my cousin's mom, my Aunt Marie, died.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't even know how many.
2012, 2013?
Maybe
15. No. It would have been
it wasn't too
20
far before Shanin.
2016. Yeah, it would have been 2015, 2016.
And I remember I was just feeling so sad for my cousins. I didn't know her very well, but I was just thinking of like, oh my gosh, what would I do if my mom died? Like I was sitting there and I was like, I was feeling for them. I was feeling their pain. I was just trying to, anyway. So I remember being in the bathroom. I was sitting on the toilet, just the lid was down. I was not going. I was just sitting there and I had the lights turned off and I was just like rocking back and forth, just crying for them, crying for my cousins and their mom. Yeah. And I remember asking God, like in that moment, how would I do this?
How would I be able to handle this?
How am I going to do this? If this happens to me, when it happens, when my mom dies, when my dad dies, how am I going to do this? And I felt like God was saying to me in that moment, this is how. This is how you're going to do it. Right now, what you're doing, this is how. So
sitting in the dark, crying, praying, lamenting, grieving.
Yeah. There is something, lament, we could do a whole thing on lament. We could do a whole thing on dreams that we had after that your brain does. Anyway, but that's for another hour.
So that's my bit of advice. It's like no abnormal emotions in an abnormal situation. Your feelings about your feelings are going to be a big hiccup for you.
Yeah.
How am I moving forward, or what does life look like moving forward, rather than why did this happen? It's just such a stuck question. I'm not saying it's never important. Yeah. There are some times where we need to know why something happened, but how is always a more helpful question.
Yeah. How am I now going to move forward with this? I love that.
Live with the reality of all this, and that's that works inside and out. All of those work inside and outside of grief. But I think that's helpful for me. Yeah.
No, thanks for sharing that. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Do you have any bits of wisdom for us as we wrap up?
Oh gosh,
someone who's experienced.
Going back to some things that people have said that were not helpful.
Yeah.
Was give it time.
Yeah.
Was not helpful in the moment.
Yeah. Right.
However, being on this side, we're 8 years, 9 years. I don't know.
7 years. 2017.
2017. Almost 10. Oh, it's 9 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, being on this side, time has made the grief not as sharp.
Yeah.
It has rounded out a bit. Yeah. And there's a beautiful visual that floats around
I think about that
on
too.
the Instagram and on the internet, but like how grief, there's like a box and grief, when it first happens, there's a circle and it fills the entire box. It's a ball and it fills the entire box.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's taking up so much space. And then, as time passes.
There's a grief button in the box.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Maybe we can pull up the visual.
And the ball, like the bigger the ball, it just keeps hitting the grief button.
Oh, that's it. That's what it is. So it's the ball that's hitting the grief that's taking up the space. And then as time passes, the grief gets smaller and the ball bounces and it doesn't hit the grief as often, but it's still hits it. And so I think that's for me is there's certain times of year
Yeah, of course.
that are, I expect them to be harder, and they are.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not.
Right.
Which is always, again, feelings about the feelings. I'm like, oh, why didn't I feel bad this time? Oh, am I a horrible sister? Like, but
Yeah.
yeah, it would be that time.
There's been a helpful update for me to that visual, but if you like your visual, keep it.
Yeah, update me.
Some people don't like the idea of the ball getting smaller because it communicates to them that they're forgetting or minimizing.
Oh, is it the box gets bigger? Oh, I love that.
Because we're moving forward, right?
That is great.
And
I have seen that. I
and
believe so.
there are times and seasons when the button gets bigger though too, right? Like around birthdays and around holidays where the button it gets bigger and is a little more sensitive to being set off. Yeah. But the box gets bigger, not that the person's influence on your life or memory gets smaller. Yeah.
Right. Yes. I like that visual.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Not to correct you, but
oh, that's beautiful.
Everything happens for a reason. So
well, yes. Well, thank you. Thanks for entering into that conversation on grief with me.
I'm pumped.
I just think, again, wrapping this up with just holidays are hard, complicated.
Yeah.
Especially as you get older and you live more life.
Yeah.
I remember being a little kid and just being, completely unaware of everything. Some of us became more aware of traumas and things like that at younger ages. And so maybe we've been more aware of that for longer, but
yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. So if you're watching this, you're not alone. If you're feeling all kinds of emotions this holiday season, just know that, that we're there with you. We're feeling it too.
And again, really, like it's profound to me, but it's like the bigger your life is, the better your life is, the deeper your connections, the more you're going to experience grief. And so getting a handle on it, being able to have language and ideas to help process is just going to make, is going to enrich your life. Right.
And letting the waves come, letting the waves of grief kind of flow over you instead of like resisting it. Just letting it happen, having grace for yourself and for those around you. Yeah. Don't take anything too personal if you're talking to someone who's...
I do wish we did have some of those old customs. We got to wrap up.
I know.
Some of those old customs where like people wore the black armbands when they were grieving or people wore black.
Yeah.
Like I wish we had some more outward appearances.
It was more socially, culturally
understood,
acceptable.
So that when we knew if somebody, was yelling at me at the grocery store, like...
Oh, they have a black armband on, they're grieving, or...
A veil.
I know we used to do that. Not we, but
But it just requires us to be more attuned and more aware and extra gracious, even when we don't have the outward visuals. Anyways, that's my time.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, James, for joining us on the Hearts of Gold podcast. And have a wonderful holiday season.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. I see it. Oh, you just made it blurry. Yeah, on me. I look fine.
Don't chew your gum into the microphone.
No, I'm gonna go put it. No. Yeah. Ugh, that's gross.